Hey guys, it's Sarah, and today I'm going to be talking to you about belly button piercing. So I'm going to go over everything there is to know about belly button piercings, what you should do before, the pain, whole experience, and like how to take care of it and stuff like that. So first of all, I'll start off. Here are pictures of me with my belly button piercing. Unfortunately, I had to take it out. I can explain that later on in the video. It wasn't really a big deal or anything. Like, nothing bad happened with it. It was just my parents, but I'll explain that later on. So, hopefully there have been some pictures included here of when I had my belly button piercing. Okay, so, basically, when you are going to get your belly button pierced, you want to make sure that you are going to a reputable piercer. Do your research. Don't go to the cheapest place. Don't go to a place that is dirty or have your friend do it. Don't do that. That was bad. Bad idea, because this is not like a simple lobe piercing. It is a big part of your body, and it could go very wrong if done incorrectly. That being said, when you go to your piercer, make sure they know what they're doing, because I've seen so many videos on TikTok of people's belly buttons, like they got them pierced with too short of a bar or too much skin, and it just got infected, or it got like sucked into their belly button, and you just don't want that to happen. So when I went to get pierced, I was with my friends, they got other piercings, and the lady made sure to mark up my belly button with measurements beforehand so she knew the right size. And then I was standing up for that, and then I had to lay down on the table, and then she pierced me. I feel like a lot of people, when they get their belly button pierced, at least from videos I've seen, they use like clamps to clamp it and then they pierce it. But my piercer didn't use clamps, but I think that's a good sign because it shows that she's experienced and doesn't need clamps. But when she pierced it with the needle, she decided that she needed a longer bar than she initially thought, because when you lay down, your stomach like stretches more, so if the bar is too thin when you are in different positions, it can like irritate the piercing. And so the piercing did not hurt as bad as I thought it would. It wasn't bad at all. I think out of all my piercings, I think that my triples hurt the most, and then my cartilage probably hurt the least. So like my belly button was in between there. It really was not too bad at all. The only thing is, it does take quite a while to heal, because it's like, I think it's cartilage, I'm not exactly sure. You just want to make sure that you don't wear a ton of tight clothing or clothing that can irritate it, because at first, if you wear a sweater or jeans and something gets caught in the piercing and then it tugs it or moves it in a certain way, it can be very painful. Also, if you like knock it a certain way, that can also be painful. So be careful of that. Also, make sure you're not swimming for a while afterwards, because that can get it infected. I remember I got it at school in college, and a bunch of my friends went like cliff jumping, but I couldn't do that because I didn't want my piercing to get infected. But after a few weeks, it started feeling a lot better. I would definitely say piercings like that and like my cartilage, it hurts more afterwards than the actual piercing itself. So like the healing process hurts more than actually getting it pierced. Also with the belly button piercing, I got like the standard one with the bar, or it was like the titanium bar with 2 titanium balls on it, but you can also change out the balls for different types of jewelry. But you should wait a few months for your belly button to fully heal before you change out the jewelry, because if you change it out too early, it can get infected or you can get keloids. So now I'm going to talk about some more aftercare stuff. So you're going to want to clean your piercing with a sea salt solution. You can make your own solution with like salt and water, and like measure out the ratios and mix it, and like warm water. Also wash it after you shower, or get like shampoo or soap in it, because you might think that's clean, but it can actually irritate your piercing. But this is one of my favorite sea salt solutions. I don't know if it's gonna focus, but this is just a smaller version. Here, yeah. You can get this on Amazon. This is really good for any piercing, honestly. So it's just the Aftercare Spray. I use this on my cartilage piercing and my belly button. You can either spray it directly onto your belly button, or you can put it on, like, spray it on a Q-tip, and then make sure you clean the top and the bottom, because there's like an entrance hole and an exit hole for your belly button piercing. So yeah, also when you get it pierced, they're gonna pierce it with, like I said, to make sure they know, like, a big enough one, but you can change it out for a smaller one once your belly button heals. But you want to make sure you initially get it pierced with a bigger one, because sometimes it can swell. That's normal. So make sure there's like enough room for that. One thing I noticed is sometimes there's a little like goopy stuff that's kind of gross. Like around the piercing, it was a little red and it wasn't super crusty, but sometimes this like liquidy stuff would come out of it, and that's normal unless it is like super yellow or lasts for a really long time. If that doesn't stop, I would definitely either take it out or go back to your piercer and double check if everything's okay. Since your belly button is more of like an intense body piercing, you can get keloids, and keloids are basically just scar tissue that is like a bump, and you can get rid of it. Keloids are really normal. I have a keloid on my cartilage piercing. It comes and goes, but it happens from if the piercing moves a little bit, so it doesn't like properly heal. But don't worry if it gets too bad, go to your piercer. But if it's just a little bump, it's normal, and I recommend using tea tree oil. This is just from Amazon, and you want to put a little bit on a Q-tip and then put that on the keloid, so it'll go away, it'll dry it out, make it smaller. Make sure that if you're doing this, clean it first and then use this, but don't use this instead of cleaning it. And also only use this on the bump. Don't use this anywhere else, because then it can irritate your piercing instead of helping it. But this is a lifesaver for any keloid, any piercing. Yeah, so now I'll tell you guys the story of why I had to take my piercing out. So basically, I love tattoos and piercings, and my parents do not. So I already have too many piercings, and I got them without their permission. And basically I went to college, they told me not to get any piercings or tattoos, and what did I do? Yeah, so they found out about my belly button piercing and they got mad. And then I came home and they told me consequences. So I was like, you know what, fine, when I have my surgery, I'll just take it out. And in my head, I was like, maybe I'll see if I can put it back in after my surgery, but also I don't really care because it didn't hurt that bad. I can always get it re-pierced later. So when I got my tonsils out, I filmed that. That was my last video. You guys can go watch that if you're interested after this video. But I decided to take it out. I took it out right after my surgery. I could already tell it closed up, and now it has been a few weeks later and it is fully closed. It fully closed just like a few hours after, honestly. I think if you wanted to jam it through, you could after like a few hours, but like after a day you definitely could not. And that is one of the things about the belly button piercing that is good or bad, because it is good if you decide you don't like it anymore, or your parents make you take it out, or basically any reason, because it'll close up super fast. But that's also bad, because if it actually falls out or something, that can be bad. I can show you guys what it looks like now. I don't know if you can see that. This is what it looks like now. It's just a little bump, a little scar, but yeah, I loved it. I would definitely get another one, but I have to be financially independent in order to get it, because I'll piss my parents off if I do it, and that's just not good. But I highly recommend getting one, I would say with your parents' permission, but if you're 18 or older, you don't need your parents' permission. I think it's also a really good piercing because like people aren't really going to see it unless you want them to. So if you need it covered for a job or something, you don't really have to worry about that. If you don't want your parents to know, just don't send them pictures with you in a bathing suit and your piercing showing, because they will see it no matter how small it looks in the picture. That's not what happened to me at all. But yeah, so if you guys have any other questions about belly button piercings or piercings in general, just comment down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below. Thanks. I love you guys. Bye.